Coming up on today's show, we have a pasta bake that's sure to please the hungriest appetites, along with a cool salad. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne Dede.
And we got a couple recipes tonight that we're going to make spaghetti bake, which, I mean, that's such a hearty meal.
It is.
Love spaghetti,
Yes.
and kids love spaghetti, so can't wait to try this one. And then we got a corn vegetable salad.
It is, and it's good. It's a cold salad, and we'll mix that up, and we're going to use some fresh tomatoes, fresh cucumbers. Again, this is a great time of year to make a salad like that.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, when you have the fresh goods, you know, vegetables, you want to do that. So,
right.
Well, we're going to go over and start with, it's called baked spaghetti.
Okay.
And you can make this, oh, I need a spoon here. Okay. You can make it a meatless salad or bake.
Okay.
Or else you can put hamburger in.
Okay.
Which I'm going to put hamburger in tonight. But that's something, you know, if somebody is, you know, wants a vegetarian salad or a bake, I should say, that's the way to go.
Okay.
We're going to start with about 12 ounces of spaghetti. I got my water boiling here. I'm going to just break those in half and just add that. This is a 2-pound box, so I have to judge 12 ounces out of that. Now it's up to you to weigh that and see if it's 12 ounces.
Sure.
If it's not right, it's your fault.
A little more will never hurt anyone.
That's right. So we're going to just get that mixed up. I got the water boiling here well, and I put just a little bit of salt in there.
Okay.
And, you know, many times you've heard that you add some oil to your water so your spaghetti doesn't stick. But you know the trick for making a pasta is having abundance of water. If you don't have enough water or a big enough kettle, that's when it sticks.
Oh.
So you don't necessarily need that oil in there. I think we might just take a couple more sprigs out of that. And like I said, it says 12 ounces, but you know, just whatever, you know, estimating that you would say. Okay, I'm just kind of stirring that spaghetti to make sure it's not sticking together. So when you put it in, you know, you've got kind of clumps.
Right.
So you want to separate that so it doesn't clump together. We're going to put a tablespoon of butter in the pan here. It looks like I got that plenty warm or hot. I'm going to put 1 green chopped pepper.
Okay.
Because we're going to go ahead and saute this here, and then we're going to 1 medium cut onion.
Okay.
So we just want to saute this a little bit here. And there's olives that go into this, mushrooms, and some tomatoes. You know, we were talking earlier, you know, it asked for a 28-ounce can of tomatoes, canned tomatoes. Again, I had some fresh tomatoes, so I just cut them up. We're going to use that.
Sure.
And I don't know, a good tip, and viewers, now I have a very small little patch, you know, with a couple of tomato plants and that, so I don't get a lot of tomatoes to make it worthwhile canning. But if I have extra tomatoes, I just wash them, you know, keep the skins on, put them in a bag, you know, freezer bag, and freeze them. And this way, when you want to use them, you just take out as many as you want, and you take them out froze, you put it under hot water.
Okay.
The skin just comes off immediately.
Oh.
It is just such an easy, nice trick, you know, with peeling a tomato.
Sure.
And that, so you don't have to, you know, blanch them or skull them. It just comes right off. So, and it's a great way to make fresh tomato soup.
Perfect.
You know, when you don't have the, you know, it's out of season, you froze them, they're going to be fresh.
Right.
Taste like fresh. And, you know, just run it under that hot water and wonderful. Okay, we'll just turn this down a little bit. because till we get this sauteed here, the spaghetti should be soft.
Okay.
And that. So then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of oregano.
Okay.
So we're going to put that on there. And a small can of mushrooms.
Okay.
And I just use the ones with the stems and pieces, and then I just chopped them a little bit more.
Sure.
And that, because you have all kinds there. And then it says like about 2.5 ounces of olives, chopped olives.
Okay.
So we're going to put that in there. Mix that together.
It's going to be a very colorful bake.
It is. And then this is where then you would add your hamburger if you wanted to.
Sure.
Like I said, it's optional. And you're going to make sure you have your hamburger brown. You don't want to use raw hamburger. So we're going to put a pound of hamburger in here.
Now this is a meal, you know, what you're talking about, you can use the meat or not. Certain times of the year when you might be abstaining from meat, perfect recipe to go either way.
It is. It really is. So we'll just get that blended there. And you don't want your spaghetti cooked real soft because it's going to be baking in the oven.
Sure.
It bakes in the oven at like 350 for 30 minutes. So that doesn't take very long either. So we'll just there. And now I'm going to come over and get my tomatoes. Like I said, and because it says use your tomatoes undrained. And of course, with your fresh tomatoes, when you cut them and you put them in there, you're going to have definitely liquid.
Sure.
In there, so get that mixed up and just let that simmer a little bit. And there's cheese that goes in there. I mean, we're going to layer it, and the cheese is going to go on top of that, and that's going to be just so good.
Okay.
So again, nice color, green, reds, your olives. It makes a very appealing
This would be a great dish for a potluck.
Nice, easy to go. Yeah.
Yes.
Again, it doesn't take a long time to make. And when I hold up that spaghetti, that looks like that's getting pretty soft there. So I'm going to just stir that up. And I'm going to put that, of course, you want to drain your spaghetti well. And we'll just bring that to a boil, and so it just simmers for a few minutes to kind of bring those flavors together. And I believe I'm supposed to add a little bit of pepper to that.
Okay.
So again, my family likes pepper. So, but you know, usually about 1/2 teaspoon or so.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to come and drain this.
Do you have to use those kind of spaghetti noodles? I like the Angel.
Well, I think you could either way. Okay. Ready?
3, 2.
Okay, we've got our spaghetti drained. Now we're going to take a 9x13 pan, and I'll give you your job, and we're going to spray that lightly.
There's certain things that I can do.
I just don't want to take your job completely away. Okay, now we're going to layer this. So we're going to add half this spaghetti in here.
Okay.
And you know, most boxes of spaghetti are 16 ounces a pound. So, you know, if you just don't want a couple of spaghetti noodles left in a box, use them all.
Sure.
Because, you know, you really have quite a bit of you know, mixture that you're going to put on top of this. So,
yes.
okay, we're going to set this aside, and we're going to bring over our meat mixture. And we can call it a meat mixture because that's what we, you know, did. I probably shouldn't set real hot on just a plastic. I'll put that underneath. So we're going to put half of this on there.
Well, this is something that you can certainly make ahead of time and have it ready to go in the oven when you get off of work. It's a very easy put together meal beforehand.
Definitely, yes. Good ideas, you know, like that you can have a nice, tasty supper, or like you said, it's great for a potluck.
Yes.
And that, now it asks for cheddar cheese.
Okay.
So it asks for 8 ounces or 2 cups. So we're going to sprinkle half of that on there. Okay.
All right.
And now we're going to put the rest of our spaghetti.
And this is going to be a very filling dish.
It is. It's a complete meal.
Yes.
You know, so you don't have to worry about anything else here. So let's separate that. And so it makes a generous 9 by 13 pad.
Absolutely.
So we'll put the rest of this mixture on it.
Perfect.
You know, it's certainly a different twist to spaghetti.
Yes.
You know, and that. So now we're going to put the remaining cheese on it. And we'll just spread that out. And again, I've got the mild cheddar, but I think a sharp cheddar would be wonderful to this also. So we'll set this aside.
Okay.
And now we're going to, I've got a 1/4 cup of water in here.
Okay.
And we're going to take a can of cream of mushroom soup.
Okay.
You know, we're going to just put that in there together, and then that goes over.
Okay, like a gravy.
Yes. And then we're going to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on it before we bake it, and that's all you do, and you're just going to
And you said
wait.
again we were going to bake it at what? How many degrees do we set the oven for?
like at 350.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just a
for-
half hour. So really
for
easy.
a half hour, yeah. If, you know, let's mix this water in here a little bit. And mix that up. And then we just pour that over. But if you were going to make this ahead of time and put it in your refrigerator until, you know, you're ready to bake it for supper or whenever, you're going to probably want to bake it a little bit longer than 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because it's cold. Right now, all our ingredients are warm, hot,
Yes.
so it doesn't take us long to bake.
Okay.
So we're just going to put that over that. Okay, we'll just spread that out a little bit.
Oh, this is going to be great.
And that will just bake right down in to the spaghetti and that. And that's why I said, you know, if your spaghetti noodles are not real soft, you know, just by baking and 30 minutes and this little extra liquid, if they're not real soft, they are going to get soft.
Okay.
And now it says about a 1/4 cup cheddar or Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And we're going to sprinkle that on just right before we bake it. And, you know, and that should give it a nice brown color.
Yes.
You know, a little color to that. And it says about a 1/4 cup cheese, but just enough. You know, I don't have a lot in this bag left. I think I'm going to just use it up here.
Can never go wrong with cheese.
Not at all. You know, and I didn't used to bake a lot with Parmesan cheese, but it's just a good flavoring to, you know, your casseroles and
Yes.
things. So we're going to put that in the oven. And I will set the timer here. You know, I'm going to put it on my convection bake just because I have that, and that's going to go nice, you know, fast and stuff.
Okay.
So we've got that. That was easy enough.
Easy to put together.
Yeah, right. And this salad here is even going to be easier.
Okay.
We're going to take a small onion.
Okay.
Fresh onion. This onion here was fresh out of the garden, so those usually have some nice mild flavor versus, you know, onions. Sometimes when you buy them, they've been around longer, not right fresh from the garden. Otherwise, you know, you can use like a purple onion. That would be a little sweeter.
Sure.
And that. And, you know, I wasn't always so familiar with white Chopek corn. You know, you use that in there, you can of that. There we go. And we've got a couple of cucumbers here.
Okay.
That we're going to chop and put in there. And I peel the cucumbers just a little bit here. I wanted to leave a little bit of the peeling on just for some color.
Sure.
And in the summer, when you get cucumbers right out of the garden, I just, if I'm out there picking or whatever, I just like to take a cucumber and eat it just like that. That's just...
And they smell so good.
It is. Something about fresh cucumbers versus, you know, when you buy them in the grocery store later, when we're not so lucky to have those fresh produce anymore. Vegetables from the garden. Somehow it seems like we should be able to freeze or find a way to preserve cucumbers because they get to be so plentiful. And, you know, you have cucumbers, sometimes you can't use them all, and you think, oh, if I could only keep those for, you know.
Right, for a rainy day.
A rainy day, come, you know, January and February. It's nothing like thinking about those fresh,
yes,
you know, vegetables. That's just my oven telling me that it's preheated totally to the right temperature. So I've just got one tomato here, and you know, you could certainly add more than one tomato. It asks for one tomato, but you know, if you probably are going to have company and you want that salad maybe to go a little bit further,
sure,
add another cucumber, add another tomato to it. You know, anything like that, nothing has to be precise. So we have that in there.
Okay.
Now it asks for a half a teaspoon of dill weed.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot.
Fresh container.
Fresh container, not even opened. Isn't that? It'll be really cool. I give that one to you, but we might be here a little longer. So we'll just get this.
I'm thinking my mother doesn't have a lot of faith in me.
Oh.
You're just giving me a lot of grief tonight.
That's right. I don't know. For some reason, I feel
spunky.
A little bit more tonight about giving you grief. And nothing like doing it on the air. You can't. You can't talk back to your mother. People would think, "How did I raise my daughter?" Okay, so I put a half a teaspoon of dill weed in there.
Okay.
And now I'm going to put some celery seed in there. About a half a teaspoon too of just celery seed.
Okay.
And as you can see with the dill and that, all my dill is out of the garden, so I don't have, so I'm using it out of a jar. But hey, when you do have dill, use that fresh dill. It's absolutely wonderful. And that, so I'm going to add just a little bit of, oh, where's my pepper? Over here. You know, it says about a half a teaspoon of pepper.
Okay.
So I'm going to put that in there. And then it says a half a cup of sour cream and a half a cup of mayo.
Okay.
So let's see, my measuring cup here is actually 2/3, so I'm not going to make that way full.
It all works.
It does. You know, like I said, things like this don't have to be exact. You know, when you come to breads and cakes and some of those things, you have to measure more, you know, the true exact number. But we're not going to worry about that. And then a half a cup of mayo. And I would use the mayo versus Miracle Whip. It's just got a little extra zing to it.
That is one thing with recipes and salads that I found too. When it says one or the other, use it.
It does. It makes a big difference. So we have that. We'll set that aside. And now it says 3 tablespoons of pickle juice. So whatever kind of pickles you have in the fridge, just take out your pickle juice, and now you're going to blend that in there, and you can refrigerate that and just have that, you know, kind of marinate those flavors together.
Yes. And who would think, it just always amazes me when I look at a salad like this, after I taste it, it's so yummy, but what ingenious mind thinks of putting this together?
Isn't that the truth? You know, some of the things that you do, you know, put together is amazing. Okay, we're going to just leave that in this big bowl for now, and we're going to put that in the fridge and just let that marinate.
Okay.
And that was easy enough to put together.
Absolutely.
And it's a fresh salad, and it's going to be, you know, got a little bit of different twist to it, and it's excellent. So we'll put that in there in the fridge, and then we're going to wait. We've got just a little bit to go yet for the spaghetti bake, and we'll just show you all how it looks.
Perfect.
All right. Okay, our oven is going off here, and our spaghetti bake should be done, so let's just see what that looks like.
Okay.
I'll have you open the oven for me.
Oh, it's bubbling, bubbling.
It is. Ooh, does that look good?
That does.
All right. I'll have you get our salad out of the fridge. And just stir that up a little bit. And, you know, as it sets, it thickens up a little bit. It's
sure does.
I mean, you know, we haven't had it setting very long, but you have it setting a little bit more, and that's going to thicken. And I would just go put some of this, you know, and I love the taste of dill. That I could just do. And so, like I said, we have that dill weed in here. So that makes one heck of a nice looking salad.
Absolutely.
You know, and let's just cut this here, and we're going to just see, this is right out of the oven, so it's hot.
Hot, hot.
So we're going to just show you what. And, you know, you saw how much liquid, you know, we did have in there, you know, with the tomatoes and all that, and then putting the soup over it. I mean, there's not.
No, it's
not
a casserole.
runny.
It's not.
It is.
It's not a stew.
It is very good. So, you know, you could feature these together. You know, it's a complete meal.
It absolutely is. We just need maybe just a touch of dessert.
Oh,
you can never forget about dessert.
Absolutely. Even if it's just ice cream if we don't have anything baked.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. To get these recipes, just go to our website, www.ctctel.com. Please submit your recipes for us to cook for you. And as always, thank you to the Workshop for being our sponsor. Have a great day.